Good morning. The first chapter, Life Underwriting Principle and Concept Part 1. In this chapter, we are going to study the concept of underwriting, process of assessing individual risk, understand the classification of risk, explain the possible outcomes of the underwriting process. Then, understand the concept of underwriting. What are the things we need to study? Assessing, selecting, classifying, evaluating, measuring, and rating. The level of risk associated with an individual. Always the risk level associated with an individual. That is the one important things we have to study. Next thing is underwriting concept. Underwriting concept: classifying, evaluating, measuring, rating. These are the four terms we have to study. Classifying. First we have to classify, then evaluate that risk. The next one is measuring, then rating. In the case of underwriting, assumption is made towards the mortality of an individual. Means, what is an assumption of underwriting? It's a mortality of an individual. So just highlight that word, mortality of an individual. Okay, while excluding unexpected factors such as accident. Based on these mortality tables, underwriters make estimations about individuals' mortality and take a decision of accepting or declining risk. So what they are saying, some unexpected factors are there, accidents. Based on these mortality tables, underwriter make estimations about the individual mortality and take a decision of whether accept or decline the risk. Life insurance underwriting is mainly concerned two aspects. What are there? Evaluation of the risk associated with providing life insurance cover to an individual and pricing. These 2 points, evaluation and what is pricing. So, life insurance underwriting is mainly concerned with the two aspects. What are they? Evaluation of the risk, then pricing the risk. It's covered to a individual. The next one is process of underwriting. For performing the task of underwriting, insurance companies hire professionals who are referred to as an underwriters. In life insurance underwriting, an underwriter follows the steps discussed below, decided whether to accept or reject a particular risk. Who is underwriter? For performing the task of underwriting, insurance companies hire professionals that means that people are called the underwriters. So here we studied who is underwriter, then how underwriters select, means accept or reject particular risk. Process of underwriting. The underwriter follows the steps discussed below. And next we discussed about the steps. So here we studied the level of risk associated with an individual. Then here means mortality of an individual, means assumption towards when an underwriter assume how the table forms. It's always depends upon the mortality of an individual. Then next one, life insurance underwriting mainly concerned with the two aspects. One is evaluation of the risk, which are associated with providing life insurance cover to an individual. Next, pricing. Here we studied who is underwriter, then what are the steps they are following to accept or reject a particular risk. These are the process: classification of risk, rating, then taking, then premium. We know the word CRPF, here CRTP. Classification of risk, rating. T means rating of risk, T means taking decision, P means premium to be charged. CRPF, CRTP. CRTP. Then next, first we discussed about the C. What is C? Classification of risk. Based on the information collected by the underwriter from a different source, he can classify the risk related to individual as standard and substandard. When an underwriter collected information from different sources, means agent ACR means agent confidential report or other online whatever resources, he can classify the risk into two types. One is standard, another one is substandard. So then we can see an example. The various sources from which underwriters can gather information for assessing the risk are: one is proposal form, another one is insurance agent's confidential report, then third one is medical history and medical examination report of the life insured, then income statements and financial information questionnaires, that means PL, profit and loss statements, balance sheet, ITR form 16, financial information from credit rating agencies. Then next is supplementary questionnaire on individual medical and non-medical information. So here we see, based on the information collected by the underwriter from different sources. Here are the source forms: proposal forms, ACR, medical history and medical examination, then financial income statements, in financial information from credit rating agencies, then supplementary questionnaires on individual medical and non-medical information. Next one is rating the risk. Once the risk has been classified, then what is the next step? We discussed CRTP. First classification is done. Then next one is rating the risk. Once the risk has been classified, the underwriter then needs to measure the level of risk associated with the individual proposal by actuarial means. The underwriter can provide the following rating to individual cases depending on whether predictive mortality is low, high, substantially high. How the underwriters are rating the risk: mortality low, mortality high, mortality substantially high. Then based on this, taking a decision on risk. Based on the rating estimated by the underwriter, one of the following decisions are taken. First is accept the risk at standard rate. We discussed earlier two types of risks. Are there: standard and substandard. Here, after rating the risk, first one is accept the risk at standard rate. Here first one question is asked from previous question is asked from this chapter. Predictive mortality does not deviate too much when compared to that indicated in the mortality table provided by the actuaries. The risk is accepted by the underwriter at a standard rate. Previously asked questions from this portion. Accept the risk at standard rate. These questions are questions asked in the questions. The risk is accepted by the underwriter at the standard rates. How? Predictive mortality does not deviate too much when compared to that indicated in the mortality table. Then how underwriter accepted the risk by risk at standard rates. Important question. The question is like that: if the predictive mortality does not deviate too much when compared to that indicated in the mortality table provided by the actuaries, then the risk is accepted by the underwriter at a dash rate. Options are standard, substandard, substantially high, like that. The answer is standard rates. Okay friends, we discussed this much. Only this first point is the level of risk associated with an individual, then mortality of an individual, means assumption made towards the mortality of an individual. Life insurance underwriting is mainly concerned with two aspects: one is evaluation, then pricing. Then who is underwriter? Insurance company hire professional who are referred to as an underwriter, means performing the task of underwriting. Insurance companies hire professionals who are referred to as an underwriters. Then process of underwriting: CRTP, classifying, rating, taking decision, then premium to be charged. Then how underwriter classify the risk: collecting information from different sources, These are the sources: proposal form, insurance agent's confidential report, medical history, medical examination. Then risk two types of risk: standard and substandard. What are these? Then income statement, supplementary. Then how rating the risk: mortality low, mortality high, substantially high. This is very important questions. Means if the mortality does not deviate too much when compared to that indicated in the mortality table, how the risk is accepted by the underwriter. Which rate? Standard rates. So today our class is over. Next day, next portion. Thank you.